Now, please welcome to the stage Ryan Manrique, John Egan, and Caden Land.
What's up, you guys? All right, guys, so today we're going to talk to you guys about how to increase your persistency as a producer and as a manager. So we always hear people talk about production, how many apps they write, how much premium they've issued, how fast their team is growing. But what we don't hear enough about is persistency and how much of our business is actually staying on the books. A great persistency equates to great profitability. The truth is, a policy that lapses never should have been written in the first place. It doesn't help the client, doesn't help the company, and it certainly doesn't help your income in the long run. So how do we increase persistency? It's not complicated, but it does require intention. Just like Dave Anderson said the other day, intention means doing it with a purpose. It has to become a top priority. So I'm going to give you guys several things to focus on that are going to increase your persistency. First, build a strong rapport with the client. When building rapport, I like to keep it simple. I ask about their kids, their grandkids, their dog, the weather, sports, whatever I can find to open up a conversation so they view me as a person, and it builds trust. If the client likes you and they trust you, they're going to do business with you. Second, ask intentional questions, not surface level questions. Find out about their family, their income, who they're looking to protect, what they're afraid of. Then design that policy around their situation instead of just giving them a generic pitch. People don't cancel policies that make sense to them. Third, don't oversell the premium. This one is huge. A policy that doesn't fit a client's budget is just a chargeback waiting to happen. Our job is not to sell the biggest premium to the client. It's to sell them something that makes sense for them financially. Affordable policies stay on the books. Fourth, be transparent when you close. Before the end of the call, the client should clearly know 4 things. 1, they should know that they're getting a policy today. 2, they should know what they're paying. 3, what the coverage amount is. And 4, what the premium draft date is. If there's any confusion here, it almost always ends up as a chargeback. Fifth, cement the sale. Go back over everything one more time, then follow up in writing. A simple text or an email with the coverage amount, the premium, and the draft date eliminates doubt, and it reinforces their commitment. Also, make sure that they have your information. Let them know if any other agents reach out, not to speak to them and to call you directly if they have any questions about their policy. And lastly, hire support, guys. If you want a strong persistency, hire a VA to monitor your canceled or pending lapsed policies. This allows you to save business that's at risk of falling off the books, and it'll save you a ton of money and a ton of time. If you're writing a lot of business, you definitely need to have a VA. So remember this, it's not about selling harder. It's about selling smarter. Don't write a lot of business just to look cool on a leaderboard. Focus on your process, and your clients will thank you, and so will your bank account. Prioritize these things and watch how your business changes. Go ahead, Caden.
That was absolutely amazing, Ryan. I appreciate you guys. Now, raise your hand here if this is your first convention. There's a lot of people. So there's 2 things that you can do after today. 1, you can go back to doing what you were doing. You can maybe go be lazy, not do the right things. Or 2, you can implement what you've learned over the last 3 days. The last 3 days will completely change your life if you allow it to change your life. Now, with that being said, obviously you guys want to make sure that you guys have good persistency. Now, one of the best things that you can do to have good persistency is not try and necessarily sell the client, but more so trying to help them. What do they need? How can I figure out how I can help this individual? Now that you know how you can help the individual, they're going to stick on the books because you put them in the right situation. What are the things that you got to realize? You got to realize how old are they? What are their health conditions? Why do they need life insurance? And what is their budget? Now you can put them in the good situation and then just be absolutely blunt and transparent and honest with them. Like if someone isn't healthy, don't try and get them something they can't get. Be honest with people, and they're gonna stick on the books, and they're gonna respect that about you because you're putting them in the right situation. Now, after you close the deal, you guys gotta make sure that, hey, you are solidifying the deal. What are the two things that you gotta make sure to do is, one, that no one else should be reaching out to your client except you. If anyone reaches out to me saying, hey, they're a policy service director, they're my manager, they're this, they're that, I'm the only person on the planet that should be going over your policy with you, no one else. And finally, you gotta make sure that, hey, that person can afford it. I wanna make sure, John, that $150 a month, that is gonna be affordable for you. Not only is it gonna make sure that, hey, if you were to cancel, that is gonna hurt you and your daughter, that's also gonna hurt me, the representative that did help you out today. So I just wanna make sure that $150, that is gonna be affordable for you. Now, to end it off, none of us here are special. You know, you don't need to be the best. You don't need to be Michael Jordan. You don't need to be Albert Einstein. You just need to be consistent. You need to be disciplined, and you need to be coachable. Those are the traits of winners. None of those require talent. So if you do those things, you will see success in the industry. Take it away, John.
Thank you. Let's go. All right, guys. So starting off, I want to go over and tell you guys how crucial it is to have good persistency long-term in this business. That is going to be your number one limiting factor. If you guys don't get that going right away, especially if you're a new agent, understand it has to be good for the agent, it has to be good for the client, and it has to be good for the insurance carrier. If it's not all three, it's not a good sale. What I do and what I make sure all my people are doing is short-term sacrifices. So my first day in insurance, me and Jay Masker were doing in-homes, and the first 3 clients, we went in their house, sold them pretty much, and then we didn't sell them. We just actually said, okay, we're not able to get you this, and walked out. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, you're freaking crazy. We're walking away from money. And he was like, look, it's not about how much money you walk away or how much money you get, but what you could walk away from. Because what I didn't realize was he was thinking long term. Where can I take this 3 years from now, 4 years ago, or 5 years from now, 6 years from now? Where can I take this, and what does it mean for me today? What can I do today to get me there, right? So the biggest thing is knowing what a good sale is and what isn't. So if you get on the phone and they're just like, what's the price? How much does this cost? How much does this cost? Well, I don't know anything about you, so how am I gonna tell you that? First thing I need to do is identify my client. Who am I speaking with? Once I identify them, are they a lawyer? Are they on Section 8? Who are they? I could start to build emotion and find out why they want this product. Do you have a son, daughter? Okay, you have a daughter, perfect. So God forbid, if you didn't get this policy put in place, what does that look like for your daughter? Okay, now tell me what it looks like if you did get this policy in place, what does that look like? Your goal is to make this product sound so good and make sure that they understand the value that it's irrefusable. If they walk away, they're gonna be thinking about it all day, all week, right? So that's one of the biggest things that you guys gotta understand when going over policies is paint the picture for them. After that, obviously you gotta do your solidifying, but you guys have to do everything in order for it to work. It is absolutely crucial in this business to build a profitable business, because if you're selling 50, 60 grand a month, that's great, but if you have a 50% retention, now you gotta think, okay, 25 grand's going to chargebacks, 10 grand's going to leads, now I still gotta pay rent, I still got an office, now I have no money. So you gotta understand, we didn't even get to marketing, so how are you gonna grow your team if you are not profitable? If 1 month you're getting paid, 1 month you're not. So we gotta look long term, and I appreciate you guys for having us. This is all our time.
Thank you.